Good evening or afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the weather forecast here by Agent of the Forecast. This is another update here on the major severe weather outbreak here in tornado outbreak continuing the south central and then going to be, of course, in the southeast tomorrow. We have an enhanced risk for today and tomorrow, so very high risk for tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. And again, we have major updates. We now have a tornado on the ground as of right now in the just south of Mill Creek right here, where we have a tornado warning which is expired here. That's going to be for Johnston and Murray County. Again, we do have a confirmed tornado in Mill Creek. Again, seeing a very broad rotation, a very defined hook as well. Again, just south of Mill Creek. This is a confirmed tornado. And we have a PDS warning now in effect. So again, this is just showing you how strong these bands. And again, we're also going to be looking now in the radar and also the SPC alert later in the video. This won't be the whole video, just in case. But again, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, guys. I'm going to be doing many more updates on the severe weather. I would be going live. I would be live streaming right now, but I can't due to the coronavirus because of YouTube not being able to now fix my community guidelines issue. But again, definitely when I get monetized, I'll be able to fix that since I'll be able to email them. So again, please be sure to share the channel to any friends or family as well. But without further ado, let's get into this major video. So again, here we have this major tornado right here in Mill Creek. Seems like it is dying down, but again, we saw incredibly broad rotation here, as you can tell. Incredibly broad rotation, well defined. Again, here the blue is actually going towards the radar, and then the red is going away. So the only reason why it can be this close like this, it means that there is rotation. We have this again. This inflow and this inflow and this outflow again. But here we have again a really broad rotation there, and we also saw again a confirmed tornado as well into the Springer area as well. But again, we've seen quite severe weather here in Oklahoma. Again, here we saw that very strong system with the supercell here. Again, it has brought up to again a pea-sized hail in other scattered areas. We've seen up to again an inch-sized hail to possibly baseball-sized hail. But that does seem this tornado seems to be weakening. But now let's get into my weather forecast. Again, this is my map for today. Again, this is all, again, what I made earlier today. Again, this is what I've been showing in the past two videos. As you can tell, this tornado actually is in the area where I have my pink and red border. So as you can tell, my map seems to be very accurate as of right now, because the tornadoes we've had today have only been in the red and the pink. So it seems like this is actually very accurate. So if it is continuing to be accurate, it looks like the Dallas area, you guys are really next on line to be hit. Again, this is not the SPC outlook. Again, I can't say that enough. This is not SPC outlook, so that pink does not mean high risk. As you can tell, we still only have an enhanced risk. This is just showing you the risk or the potential for really chance of seeing very large tornadoes. Again, large tornado, extremely large hail, and damaging winds. Again, this is going to be basically as you get closer and closer in these colors, that's going to be showing the higher the risk is for those areas. So as you can tell, we do have a very high risk out here in areas into the southwestern Oklahoma area, parts of western Arkansas, Louisiana, and much of northeastern Texas. So in that orange color, we have a good chance for seeing very large tornadoes, extremely large hail, and damaging wind. Again, in the areas of College Station, we've seen actually, I believe we had a confirmed tornado, and it actually did bring in up to 2.5 inch sized hail, and then also into another area, northeastern Texas, there we also saw up to 4.5 inch sized hail, and that's actually in the orange. So we're going to be seeing very large hail expected as well in that red and that pink color. So as we get in the red and the pink, that's where we have the highest risk for today. So we're seeing not only very large hail, but also damaging wind and also large tornadoes. So all three of those factors will be the highest risk for those areas near Dallas, Ardmore, and also areas again into the southeastern part of Oklahoma and northeastern Texas. So definitely need to watch out, because we're definitely seeing a great potential for seeing very dangerous impacts in these areas right here. And this is also going to be continuing later overnight. So definitely I'm actually not happy that my maps are accurate, because I really don't want any areas to have a very good chance for tornadoes and large hail. Not only that, but damaging winds. But but we are seeing this continuing on once again in the southern United States. So again, here we are looking now for tomorrow. I really hope this isn't going to be as bad as tomorrow, but it does seem tomorrow will be a lot worse. We're going to be seeing a lot more widespread tornadoes in Georgia, Alabama, stretching all the way to the Carolinas. I will have a new map come out tomorrow. I've been too busy tracking on the radar scope, looking at vorticity and all that, velocity, and also looking at other live streams and making my videos, that I have not time to make a new map. But it seems that really these are still in place, and like they're really not like really they're that old. So I will have new maps coming out tomorrow. So be sure to check that out. But again, I think it looks like our highest risk for severe weather would be for mainly Georgia and Alabama, and the other areas we can possibly see in Florida also be extending that risk. Again, we have up to a orange. That's going to be a good chance for seeing very large tornadoes, damaging hail, and damaging winds, and also damaging hail, possibly life-threatening hail, and some of these areas in the red and pink, but maybe smaller hail in the orange. That's going to be for Atlanta, parts of far southeastern Mississippi, going through the far northern panhandle. Tallahassee's just on the border of the yellow. I think Tallahassee might be in the yellow by tomorrow, just depending on what it looks like by again tomorrow. And then of course in the red and pink we have the biggest threat for seeing large hail, damaging winds, and of course extremely large wedge tornadoes, especially supercells with very high ecotops, and basically that. So Albany, Columbus, Georgia, Columbus again, Georgia, Albany, areas near the as well Troy, near Troy, Alabama. We have our highest risk for seeing very large hail tornadoes, and of course those three big factors. Also going to be seeing possibly large hook echoes also as well to produce these overnight tornadoes. This will be mainly an overnight threat, and also in the late day on Friday. On Thursday. So please share the channel to any friends or family that you think will be, or that you know are going to be in this red or pink, even if they're in the yellow or orange. Please share it. But again, now let's get into the other radars and all that. So now we're looking at the SPC outlook here for the day one. Of course, we have this enhanced risk. I think it's necessary to actually issue a moderate risk throughout these areas right here. I think it's very, very necessary to actually put a moderate risk, because again, we're even seeing extremely large hail. Up to, again, I think we've seen up to, our highest was up to 5 inches, which is way more than a 30% chance for hail. So this is definitely at a moderate risk, including for that hail threat and for tornadoes. Tornado threat should be a lot higher again. So I think they should definitely issue a moderate risk, but again, it doesn't seem like the SPC will actually add it. But again, we still have time with the next couple updates, because these bands do get a lot worse as you get closer into the evening hours. But again, here we have our area of focus right here. Again, area of focus is right here, all the way as far east as Mississippi, including, and then up to the southeastern part of Oklahoma and northeastern Texas. Again, all these tornado reports we have seen today have been in the enhanced risk as well. So again, definitely seeing, and also we saw a tornado report also in the slight risk. But again, this is our best chance right here. This is our area of focus, and this X marks a spot. But our biggest threat for areas is going to be, again, right here. This is our biggest area of concern right here. Definitely biggest area of concern for tornadoes again. And then enhanced risk areas of Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, and Oklahoma. You guys are in the threat for seeing extremely strong severe weather, including tornadoes, large hail, and winds. Again, speaking of tornado threat, again, it is still a 10% chance, but we do have a SIG, or SIG, which means a very good chance as well for tornadoes likely there. But again, 10% chance here, still out here into Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. So again, that adding to the 10% chance has extended a bit more into Louisiana, getting closer to Monroe, which is not good at all. Monroe has seen very large tornadoes in the past couple of weeks. Again, Texas, areas into the southeastern parts of Oklahoma. Main threat again for those Texas and Oklahoma is probably the state that are going to hit the hardest today. And that's going to, again, have the highest risk for a 10% chance, which is a very high risk. Hail threat, I think it should be a lot higher than a 30% chance, possibly a 45 to a 60% chance is likely. I really think people are going to underestimate it if it's only a 30% chance, because, again, hate to say it, but people in Oklahoma and Texas are used to seeing very large hail and tornadoes. So if they see a 30% chance, they're going to be like, oh, no big deal. But if they extend a 60% chance or a 45% chance, that's when people take it seriously. I just think it's just for the people's safety, and just because how bad these severe weather bands are. It's just crazy. Again, 30% chance for hail. Again, the hail threat is going to be maintaining in Oklahoma and Texas. Again, it has moved a bit more to the west, so now it's getting closer now to the Lawton, Oklahoma area, and a bit more to Fort Worth. So Dallas areas into southeastern Oklahoma, again near the Gainesville area as well. You guys are on a 30% chance, which is a very, again, decently high for hail. And again, still seeing that 30% chance throughout areas in those south central states for winds. Now as we get into day 2 or tomorrow, again, we had that major update earlier this afternoon that did extend this enhanced risk now all the way into North Carolina. I really think this enhanced risk should be extended a bit more north, and it should be cut out from the Tallahassee area. I think they should cut this enhanced risk right here. I think they should cut it out from at least right here. They should cut it out like that. So excluding Tallahassee, I think they should add the slight risk back for Tallahassee instead of enhanced risk. And you're about to see why. So again, we have the slight risk again throughout areas all the way for the eastern Louisiana area up to the Virginia Beach area. So definitely widespread threat, and that is not good whatsoever. We do not need a more widespread threat for large hail and tornadoes. Again, that slight risk has a very good chance again for seeing very strong winds, and also going to be seeing that again that minor threat for possibly seeing large hail, but again seeing that decently chance again for tornadoes, again very likely. And then the enhanced risk has the worst risk for tomorrow. I really think they should issue a moderate risk. I'm hoping they do, so people can keep that in mind to get prepared if we have a level 4. I think it's very necessary. Sadly, I hate to say it, but we definitely need a moderate risk to be issued. It's necessary, and it's going to help save lives, basically. Again, that's going to be, I'm actually in the enhanced risk now, and this enhanced risk is pushing all the way to the Carolinas. The Carolinas mainly in the enhanced risk because we're going to be seeing the strong bands by really late Thursday night into Friday morning. So definitely going to be seeing a risk as well for Friday morning, those Carolina areas, and then of course, the Panhandle, much of southern Georgia, much of southern Alabama. You guys have the biggest threat for severe weather that you saw on my map. And you're able to see why, again, tornado threat extremely high. Again, that 10% chance, again, extending that all the way from the southeastern part of Mississippi all the way up to the Carolinas, getting close to the Raleigh area. So that's going to be including near Winston-Salem, including Charlotte, including Columbia, Clemson, South Carolina, again, Atlanta, Georgia as well, Macon, Columbus, Montgomery, Birmingham's right on the border with a 5 to 10% chance. Again, very high risk for big cities. Again, Atlanta, like I said, almost Raleigh. I believe Raleigh's actually right on the border of that. Also including, again, once again, much of now, again, big cities like Montgomery, Columbus, now Macon. So very big cities and have very high risk for tornadoes, and it's likely most of them will be actually overnight tornadoes. Again, hail threat going to be very widespread as well throughout many of these people, again, having this hail threat go all the way to almost in the Appalachians in Tennessee, which we don't really have a risk there. So definitely seeing this hail threat getting very widespread throughout not only tomorrow, but this whole outbreak that started yesterday now is bringing a lot of hail threat just in general with these very strong supercells. Continue to see this hail threat very high. And then, of course, wind threat's also going to be very high. And this is the only reason why we have an enhanced risk for Florida, or not only for Florida, but for the Tallahassee area and Gainesville area. You guys only have a moderate or enhanced risk because of the wind threat is so high. But if it weren't for the wind threat getting so high, in those areas, you guys will be maybe in a slight risk. Again, for the areas in northwestern Panhandle, you guys will be seeing very strong bands. But for the north central part near the Georgia border with Valdosta, you guys really should not be in the enhanced risk. I just don't think it's necessarily necessary. But that's that. Now time to look at the NAM3KM model here. Again, very powerful bands where we saw actually, this is where we saw this very large hail. Again, we saw up to 4.5 inch size hail just not far from Lufkin and College Station. We saw very strong bands, a potential tornado. We had actually a tornado warning there. And then again, these are the strong bands in Oklahoma. They're going to be really lasting a lot longer. So still seeing that, continue to see that threat for tornadoes throughout the night into early tomorrow morning around this will be around really 3 a.m. I'm going to be seeing these very powerful bands once again now moving to the El Dorado area, moving to the Shreveport area, and then also going to be seeing the scattered bands move all the way to Missouri and continue to see the severe weather bands into southeastern Kansas. As we now move later into tomorrow, we're going to be seeing really strong linear bands. Again, this is going to be stretching all the way, even from the Texas area once again, all the way to the Alabama area, going to be stretching 500 plus miles, maybe even 700 miles. Again, maybe seeing straight line severe weather bands isn't become a really widespread threat, which is actually why we have this threat all the way to Mississippi. Again, going to be seeing very powerful bands moving through the Hattiesburg area, Meridian, State Line, moving to the Birmingham area as well. Very powerful bands will be going straight over the Atlanta, Georgia area. And look at these powerful bands heading straight towards Montgomery, heading straight now for the Columbus area. This is why, again, this is why I agree with the enhanced risk in the northwestern panhandle. I said that I agree with the northwestern panhandle, just not this area. I don't necessarily agree with that area for the enhanced risk. Again, very powerful bands moving in. And as you can tell, as it does move into the where we have the enhanced risk near the Gainesville and Tallahassee area, these bands completely fall apart. So definitely don't see the whole hype there. And then we have more bands develop that are actually now south of Gainesville, or that are now south of Tallahassee. So not even Friday is looking for a severe weather threat. Now we'll be looking at the SCP and SCP. Now it's time to look at the supercell composite parameter. Again, this is actually quite high as well, as you can guess. Again, because we've seen multiple we've seen countless supercells throughout today, or if you like to call it mesocyclones. Again, we're seeing a very high number, though potentially by later tonight. Again, like I said, this tornado risk and supercell risk is going to continue to strengthen as we go into the night. Going to be seeing around a 22.4 in these areas. Again, just near the not far from the College Station area. Once again, seeing another risk of potential really strong bands, and it gets a lot worse. Now getting up to a maximum of around 30, which is almost a guaranteed chance now for supercells. Again, this is very likely to be seeing very strong overnight tornadoes. Now going to be closer and closer, forming then just into the southeastern part of Texas, and then going to continue to see this 30 really high, low 30s. Okay, this is almost a guaranteed risk of severe of supercells or major mesocyclones. Again, that's going to be really throughout near the Lufkin area. Now going to be moving into the border with Louisiana, and that risk will continue to move on by Thursday morning. That does diminish a little bit, though, as we go in the overnight, or as we do continue to move into Thursday, now into the afternoon hours, and then as we get into the overday heating, seeing this moisture once again popping. You're going to be seeing that risk now getting a bit higher now for the Alabama area, and going to see that risk once again diminish as we get into Friday. But we have a major update here on a major potential tornado here that we have. You can just see this perfect, you can just see a really well-defined hook. We have a TVS here, tornado vortex signature here. That is now, again, not far at all from the areas. It's going to be heading towards Stonewall. We have a new tornado warning there. This is crazy. That's going to be for Cole and Pontotoc County there. Again, it's going to be Central Homa, Stonewall. We do have some very well-defined rotation heading that area. Also, a very well-defined hook here as well. You can definitely see that well-defined hook now. I'm going to be seeing this, again, you're going to be seeing this outflow here, and then you're going to be seeing this inflow here. So definitely a very well-defined hook now, heading towards the Bromid area and Wapanuka areas as well. We have a new tornado warning. So in multiple areas we have this really threat, but this is a very, very well-defined hook here. Just incredibly well-defined here. So again, this really large system, again, really large supercell, or not yet supercell, but again, you're definitely seeing a ton. You just see this well-defined hook there, that inflow and outflow. Again, up to 1.1 inch and a quarter, or an inch and a quarter size hail there. Very, very large again. Also, again, that TVS, let's actually see this sustained winds again. That's 66 knots, but maximum delta velocity, that's possibly seeing 90 knots, which is around, I actually don't necessarily know how much that is, around 120 miles per hour. That is crazy. So again, looks like we do see and possibly see a ton of rotation here. As you can tell there, we are seeing that really broad rotation heading toward the Stonewall area. Again, that's where we're seeing very heavy rain. Again, that TVS does seem we possibly do have a PDS warning. Central Homa, you guys are right on that border with the tornado warning. And again, here we have this tornado. Not necessarily, we were seeing a couple rotation earlier on in this area here. We were seeing a little bit of some broad rotation right here. And we see that. That's where we're going to, again, see that possibly rotation there. But again, because this, actually the green does go, again, now towards this radar, and the red does go far away, or on the other side of the radar. So that's why we'll be seeing that green and red together will be indicating rotation. But again, you can just see that perfect hook here. It's absolutely the perfect hook here. That's that's very, very well defined though. And heading to the Bromid area could possibly be definitely a potential tornado there. And then we have that TVS warning, where we also have that hook as well. Again, let me actually get this color, if I can actually get it right here. Again, you're going to be seeing this as actually, let's see how far it goes. So again, you'll be seeing this hook right here. You're gonna be seeing, here comes the outflow, and then here comes the inflow again. So this will be the area where you will be seeing rotation right here. And again, actually just updated, but again, I'm really sorry I can't go live. I really would be doing it. I would be live right now. Again, starting to see that rotate or that hook going down a little bit. It was more of a threat earlier on before I actually got on here, but again, we did see a well-defined hook. Also seeing a well-defined hook as well out here in the Toka, Bryan, Johnson, and Marshall County. Here we have a mesocyclone. Here we're seeing actually really our the 35 miles per hour here, not extremely strong. Our maximum sustained winds are actually 47 miles per hour, and we are seeing it. Our max sustained or our highest highest area where we're seeing rotations around 16,000 feet, and we actually have it up to 26,000 feet in the air. So definitely you can see a really big risk there, but again, really well-defined rotation. But again, I hope you got into the video. As of right now, again, the threat again is still very high. It's going to continue on as we continue over into tonight. And again, definitely seeing that very high risk for severe weather. Hope you guys, everybody, stay safe, and bye, guys.